it's a lovely day for us in the studio, and also know it's a lovely day for you who is at the moment watching us. Yes, it is conversation. Yes, it is still the women's series we choose to challenge from the number first, like some people will want to call it, to the number last. It has been very interesting. I wish I could actually say we saved the best for the last, but then the truth is all of them have been very, very exceptionally good and very educating. And today, like we promised last week, we'll be looking at women in politics. Yes, it is one domain that we're seriously pushing every day. I see women pushing this way, pushing that way, trying to create relevance. And I want to believe that, like some people say it, that a country without a woman is very close to, if you want to call it, let's save that word, and quickly introduce the people with me in the house. And we have a tradition. It's every man to your mouth and every woman speak up. And I'll start with Faith. Your introduction.
Good morning. My name is Faith Odishi. Good to be here. Thank you so much for having me again.
All right. We also have an honorable member.
My name is Honorable Princess Miriam Odinaka Onoha. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right. And my lovely sister.
Natasha Putti from Kogi State, representing Abuja. Good morning, Nigerians, and thanks for having me, Elizabeth.
It's always a pleasure. And my humble self, yours sincerely, Elizabeth. I am not a politician, and I don't think I have the spirit and the strength and the energy for it, but I know one thing, I'm a very strong supporter of women. And today we will be supporting our sisters who are in it and our sisters who are still waiting, to partake, because I know that all of us have something positive for Nigeria. But for now, we're taking a break. When we come back, we hit the show.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh,
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
It's still conversation, and here we go, here we start. And I know that Natasha, some time ago, several years back, I asked you if you had interest in politics. What was your answer then?
I said no. And then I recall you urging me, and I said I was going to think about it, but then I had no interest whatsoever.
At the time?
I was just a social entrepreneur, and I was advocating for the revival of Ajakuta Steel Company then.
I recalled all of that. Yeah. And gradually, Natasha moved into politics.
Yes.
Let me start. How has the journey been for you?
My jump into politics was quite sudden. That was mid-2018, a few months to the general elections. And it's like I had a lot of lessons to learn. I had a lot to take in, but the people were of great support, yourself and many other women, especially around across Nigeria. And they thought to me and what I needed to learn and guided me all through. And I would pretty much say I had a successful campaign and a successful election, but I was rigged out. I know I won the election as a senatorial election for Kogi Central 2019. I won that, but I was rigged. But it was a good experience, and most importantly, I realized my journey enlightened and encouraged a lot of women to go into politics. It was more like, if Natasha can do it without a godfather, by sharing her vision to the people, being quite vocal, a woman like me, then I can also do it. The good thing is I inspired a lot of women.
That's the basic thing. You inspired a lot of people, and I know that you're not giving up. But we'll not go to that place. Let's go to the sitting honorable member with us here and get to find out how easy has it been for a woman. And I know you are from Imo State. Imo State is pretty much like other states dominated by male presence. You know, there's a lot of muscle moving and all that. How easy has it been for you as a woman? You actually got re-elected.
Well, actually, it's my first time, but my fourth attempt.
Wow.
My first shot at it was in 2011, and then 2015, and then 2019.
Wow.
And then
it's like
that wasn't, as if that wasn't enough, I had to also go through the whole hurdle in 2020, because there was a supplementary election even in that 2019 election. And that was the second time I thought I was being rigged out. And that 2019, it was very glaring, because you couldn't have collated results in an election that was my third. And even if I was nothing, I would have built a little bit of momentum to get me my own polling unit. And then the final collated results, I saw my opponents winning all the votes in my polling unit, while I had zero.
Are you serious?
Zero at the point of collation at the ward. So I at first I felt
in
like
in
my own polling unit.
It's like in your own kitchen.
Yes. I felt like let it be like the other ones. But I'm like, even in the spirit world, they will tell you at least spare the person. Like a child comes running to you and runs to the mother, runs into her house. You don't chase the same child to hit her or him, because the person has got to a safe haven. I thought that my own polling unit, as a candidate, a formidable one at that, would have been spared in the looting or of the votes. But when that was not done, I felt that was insensitive, and I felt it was particularly done because I was a woman. And in his word, he would say, a mere woman who would bend down to urinate is not who we will send. Like in my place, a woman, no. Not the one we sent to Abuja. For God's sakes, I've been living in Abuja for God knows how long. So you're not sending me. I stand a better chance to do it. So breaking that jinx, actually, as the first woman to be elected into that federal constituency, for me, was giving hope to more women, and that has also given room to more women indicating interest in running for offices. And thanks to my governor, who is also supportive, His Excellency Hope Uzodimma, in encouraging women. He actually played a tangible role in my election. So good news is that I persevered, and I pushed through that injustice at the court, and the election was finally annulled. And annulled at a time when the sitting governor was PDP, and I am of the APC. So everyone was like, how are you going to muscle this one? The same guy is PDP, his governor is here, and you are of the APC. How will you do it now? Because I felt and I knew my votes were not counted. In over 34 polling units, including mine, in my own polling unit where I scored 0. At least I voted.
This thing is still funny. You mean your sisters didn't vote? Your brothers didn't vote?
No, myself.
Even your own vote. Where did your vote go to?
I gave it to my opponent.
Oh my God.
So when I pushed and I felt that like my votes were omitted, it was obvious. If you added them, I was hoping to be declared winner. But I also commend the judiciary, who had gone through it and felt that, no, the best thing at the point was to order a rerun. And there was a fresh election in all the 346 polling units of my federal constituency, making it now about the 4th or 5th time for the same election. So that held. And it's good never to give up, even when you're faced with a lot of odds. When the odds don't favor you, just still keep pushing. The elections came, but one thing that would make me know and say that God really wanted to do something at that time, and to Him be all the glory. A month to my election, my sitting senator was of the APC also, the late Senator Ben Owajimogo. But you know what? He passed a month to my election. And he was more like my backbone. I was one of his senior legislative aides. So him being part of those sponsoring me to run was more like my backbone. But when he passed, everywhere my opponents were like, you might as well just resign. Governor is PDP. Your only senator who is APC is gone. But you know what? I kept pushing. And 3 weeks to my election, Senator Hope Uzodinma won his mandate back again at the court. So it was back on the track. And that was 2 weeks to my election. All the fears had reduced, and then the popularity kept increasing and increasing, and everybody now said, you know what, she has pushed too much. So those little pushes you've been making, even at the times when you lost, they actually count. Like they say, every prayer goes to your prayer bank, and it's working.
Yes, it goes to the prayer bank. And women didn't start pushing with the election. We started pushing right from the labor room.
I know.
And for every push, there's a result.
I know.
And usually beautiful one, boy or girl. But I'm still wondering, maybe Faith, you are a very strong voice when it comes to advocacy for women. What is it that is actually pulling us back?
I think culture has a lot to do with that, and the orientation, the training of the girl child, the community. I keep saying the way we receive, the reception we give to the girl child when she's born into the community. Where I come from, they describe the girl child as a saw. So when you give birth to a girl child and they're coming to say, oh, she has given birth, they're asking you, what's the sex of the child? And if the person says, you're just giving birth to a saw, onya, something like that, that means you have given birth to a girl child. So, but if you have given birth, like wound, the wound.
Why?
You know, because of the way the vagina of the girl child is made. So she's described, the wound is used to describe the birth of a girl child. But when you say you have given birth to a full current, it means that you have given birth to a male child. So usually the fanfare that heralds the birth of a male child is different from the fanfare that heralds the birth of a female child. And that's why you have the pressure on women in homes where they don't have male children. They keep saying, you don't have a hold in this family, you don't have a say. But we have been seeing people like Okonjo-Iweala, Natasha, Princess, and co. People who are taking the family names, you know, holding it even higher than the male children. So that whole narrative is changing, but it will take a lot of time because it's ingrained in our culture, you know. So that's one thing. And as soon as the child is bettered, the training, the upbringing, the orientation that you give to the child, the man is trained to be the head. They forget there's a neck that needs to rotate that head to support the head.
Women
to move.
are head of families as well. I'm the head of my family.
Exactly. You understand that. So the boy is told that, oh, you know, you have to take care of your sisters. And then if you have a younger sister that is too strong, no, you don't have to be that strong. You have to rely on your brother. You know, you get married off someday. The woman is not supposed to be held. So right from the birth, the role of the girl child is put out, and leadership is not part of that. But you see, people say that leadership, the trait of leadership is inborn. But I keep telling people that it is the women, just like you said, that push. It is during that time of pushing that you take the part of leadership you have as a woman and you put to whatever child you give, whether a male child or a female child. So it is part of what you have, because you really cannot give what you don't have. If you have leaders today, women started being leaders. It's part of the inborn trait, the leadership trait in our genes that we have passed on to our children. So when you do whatever analysis, whatever results or lab tests that you want to do for a child, you're looking at the DNA of the mother, you're looking at the DNA of the father. So most times the character of a child is built on the foundation from the character of the mother. So if you have leaders, it means that the mother has leadership traits in her that she has passed on to that child. So we need to begin to change all of that. Then when you now get into society, like I keep telling people, the Bible, for instance, for those of us who are Christians, says the woman is a weaker sex, but then the Bible says the woman is a helpmate or a support to the man. I am a civil engineer, and a civil engineer, I keep telling people, if you have a defective part of a structure, the only way to support that structure is to build another material of a stronger tensile strength to support that structure.
Repeat that stronger. That's stronger.
Yes, of a stronger tensile strength.
Because God saw the man was weak.
Yeah,
and then made a stronger woman.
Exactly, made a stronger woman. Sure. And out of bone. Now, because we don't want to go through all of that, I keep telling you, when you analyze it, you can only support that which you are stronger than. If you try to support that is stronger than you, to crush you. That's the simplest way to have it. So if the biblical injunction says the woman is a helpmate, is a support, it means that the woman has been made of a stronger material to support, so that there will be better results out there. So, so for me, I think it's about society being afraid of what the woman can bring out. If a woman is multitasking, if a woman is a leader, I mean, she can be a good mother, she can be a good leader, she can be a good business entrepreneur. She's good everywhere. The woman is the only person you can say is a jack of all trades and master of all. So society becomes afraid when you see strong women, and that's why you keep having. Have you ever had even in offices where they say iron man? It's always iron lady. It's always iron lady, because the woman is delivering. And so people are jilty that this person that is supposed to be shedding tears, that is supposed to be crying, this person that cannot pee in a bottle, this person that cannot do this, how come, where is she bringing all of these things from? So people now begin to look at negative things to bring you down, to demoralize you, and make you not to bring out your full potential. But the fact of the matter is that perseverance is there. Women have to come out. Women, even if you fail, go. Because by failing, you are getting experience. Failing does not mean that you fail and you fail out. Failing means that you continuously, move on there. And, when we have more women, because of the way we are made, we are thinking about the other people. With a woman, no, there's no woman, whether good or bad, there's no woman that thinks of herself alone. She's always thinking of, even if she doesn't have children, she's always thinking of the good of other people. And that's what leadership is about, thinking of the good of other people. And when you are in governance, it's about welfare of the people. And it is women who already have that within their DNA to think of other people, that can think of how society can develop, sustain that society, so that the other person coming can take over that.
Thinking about you were going to add something?
Yeah, of course. Talking about why we found ourselves in such a state where women are relegated to the back, and I would latch that a lot on the narratives being put down historically, which already has formed part of our history. And I would like to use the president's hometown, Daura, as an example. If you Google, or anyone who's watching now, Google Daura on Wikipedia, or the emirs of Daura, you see the first emir being listed in the 18th century, which is 17-something. And you begin to wonder, wasn't Daura as a town in existence way before that? But deliberately it was cut off, because Daura as it is was created by a female emir, Daurama. It's actually her name that was used. And after that, you had about 6 other female emirs, which were extremely strong and powerful. But history at some time became unfavorable because it was shaped by men. And that's when we talk about societal influence in relegating women. Talk about their laughing. We have had female laughings of Oyo. We've had Queen Amina. Even talk about Benin. We had the Queen Idia, who fought the Benin Empire for her son. It wasn't her son who created the empire. It was a woman, Queen Idia. Then come to Kogi State, we have the Igala. The first Atta of Igala was a woman. And that is why till today, in honor of her, the Atta always pierces his earrings. So women...
the man pierces
Yes, once you're an Atta, you have to pierce your earring. Pierce your ear and wear an earring in honor of the first Atta that was a woman.
I'm sure they will enjoy it, because sometimes men like to do what we do.
Of course. Okay. So now, when you talk about the injustice that female gender faces in Nigeria is not just particular to Nigeria, but Africa at large. And but I'm glad to know that many other African countries have picked up their belts, like Rwanda now, that has very strong affirmative policy, whereby they actually have more women in politics than men. And we have Namibia and its zebra policy as well. And we hope that Nigeria in the nearest future will be able to go back in time, ask the right questions. Like I'm challenging our viewers today. The president's hometown itself, Daurama, that was created by a woman and had more female rulers than any other town or city in Nigeria today. Why is it that Wikipedia only recognizes and registers the male leaders? Okay. Let's ask the right questions, and maybe from there we'll be able to inspire women who have many more books, novels, even if it's comics books for younger girls, so that from an early age, you wouldn't just put your daughter in school to access the same education a man does and a male colleague does, achieves. And when she gets up the ladder in society, she begins to see the glass ceiling that, oh, you know what, you're a woman, you can't attain this. And then she begins to question, but when I was in school, I was exposed to the same government subjects, English, literature, social studies. Why? These books did not tell me that only a man is allowed to achieve this. So you then don't have heartbroken women who are just relegated to become housewives. You know, so I believe a lot of it has to do with our education, so back up the culture, changing the narratives, and of course encouraging more women to keep stirring the tides.
Okay, you know, when you said, when you tried to take us down memory lane, you know, going back to history of what women had done in the past, I was also thinking, because I still read a bit of history, since I was a history student, and the times the women ruled, there was a lot of sanity, there was a lot of peace, much more than we have today. And I take it back to the sitting honorable here with us to get to find out, you're not too many of you in there. I think about 15 out of 13, right? Okay, out of a whole 300 and, okay. So, and the Senate is 7? Yes. Out of 109, that's really, really poor. Now, what are we doing, you know, to ensure that I may not be asking for 50% of the seats, but at least if you can get up to 100 women. Like you said, she also said, your victory is an encouragement to other women. What are we doing to ensure that we have more? Because the more, the merrier.
Well, I still go back again to talking about the origin of why the mentality is not right, is not balanced for women to play actively in politics, like our societal and cultural inhibitions. Back home, right from the house, I think the orientation and reorientation needs to reverberate. Definitely. We need to resound it in the minds of the girl child that you're not just born to be in the kitchen. You see, most
I don't like kitchen
will
work.
even say it to you. Why are you playing out there all the time with the... Growing up, I used to walk around with the boys. In fact, I preferred hanging out when they climbed the trees.
I'll climb trees too. I climb trees, I wash cars.
You know, and then we played, and we played football together. They would keep me at the post, and you see me at the, you know, I didn't see myself different from them. And if we went to school during classes, I wanted to beat the men. I had this winning mentality. I needed to be ahead. Even when I came first in class, I would look at the grades and like, why am I getting 92?
And the
my
boys
mom
getting 90.
Would be rejoicing and happy. Oh, they are calling my name. Oh, Odinakachi. Oh, she has come first again. And she's, why are you not smiling? Oh, I'm like, Ma, this few marks they took away. Why?
They took it away actually.
What happened? But I got 10 over this, 10 over. Why am I having that? Why not 100? So I think we need to re-inject that winning mentality into the girl child, because there's a lot of obstacles, environmentally, societally, and everything. So you need to tell our girls to always have the mentality of walking against and swimming against the current, against the tides. If that is done, there is no profession that is cut out for ladies. There is no chore. There is no hobby that is for... I'm an estate surveyor and valuer. I mean, it's not saying that it's more difficult than fashion designing. Men do a lot projects and do well also in fashion designing, cooking and baking. Men have almost overtaken it. So I think women should not sit lay back and feel that these chores are known for us. Because as we are encroaching, they are also making serious incursion and almost dominating those chores and professions that we would think were ours. So having said that, breaking the limits, closing the gap, and attaining our rightful place in societal politics. I'd like us to understand that there is no better person to tell our stories than ourselves. I am a woman. I am a mother. I've been a housewife. I know what it is, the role you play. And I've been a successful business entrepreneur. In fact, right from graduation from Unilag, I've always run my businesses until I got into the House of Reps. So women, if you develop that tensile strength you have in you, you can conquer. So I don't see why out of a house of 360, we only have 13 slots.
Oh, I feel like
I tell you that it takes you 4 more times what it takes your male counterpart to be in the house to win any election. It's strong, it's tougher, it's harder, because I see generally the society even accepts your male counterpart before you come. Before you start, they already have 40 marks ahead of you. Before you start, on your marks, they're already 40. Because people are already looking at you. This one, you are wearing the same canvas you are wearing. For maybe you are even, your own is even engrafted with a JJ or Kocha. They are looking at you. How is she going to play?
Dear Princess, may I ask you a question?
Yes, dear.
You are a sitting member of the House of
Yes.
Reps. You are a lawmaker.
Yes.
And you've always, everyone knows about the 35% affirmative action, which is supposed to be a set of policies and rules that will promote the participation
women inclusion in politics.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm wondering, what
are we doing?
Are you doing? The women,
to enforce that?
Even if you just have only 5 of you, maybe in the House of Reps, and maybe if it's just 2 or 1 senator.
What we can do to ensure that is
done?
upheld and
Exactly.
done. Well, I was coming to that. The 35% affirmative action is a policy, is a document, is a work plan. And like I always say to everybody, we don't lack laws in Nigeria.
Definitely.
What we lack is implementation. The society, our culture, like what we have said, who are the people who will do the voting? Who are the people who will make the decision? It's still the same society. It's not people from abroad or Beijing. It's we among us, like the American Constitution says, we, the people. It's we that will make that law for ourselves, for the people, by the people, with the people. So if the people don't even have the mindset to receive and implement what is in the document, the people whose benefit the same document is being made, do you know some women will actually come to you and tell you, now you have young children you are training, this money that you want to see, you every time you are working, you are putting back in politics. Now, see, this thing is not working, it's not going to work.
Are you serious?
People cannot send a woman. They have said it. So even among yourself. So back to the 35% affirmative action. It's an action, it's in place, it's workable, and I will tell you, part of the roadmap to achieving that policy.
I was going to ask, what
be,
exactly? Just mention one of the policies. Just mention one.
Would be the political parties, for instance. You don't stand as an independent candidate right now. Well, I'm a member of the electoral committee on INEC also, and we've embarked on a series of amendments to make it more inclusive and gender-friendly for women participation in politics. But then, your political party still has to sponsor you. And there is no... The only thing for now I know that has been done is to reduce the cost of nomination, which is also one of a bill I sponsored in the House, reducing the cost of electioneering, starting with the nomination forms. So all of those are...
To make it very easy for women to assess.
Financially, how equipped are the women to compete in a world that is already male-dominated? Now they've given us 50% cut in the forms, but that does not reduce the cost of consultation, does not reduce the political tourism, because you visit every polling unit, every ward, every local government. And I say it to us, sometimes what we read in the books is not what you see in the field. It's entirely different. You visit the religious groups, the social sects, the traditional rulers, and in this part of the world, we are not known by going to say you just want to come and greet, like Oyibo man will pop in. I was just passing by, and I said to stop by. No, you have to go and get a drink. And you look at the caliber and category of persons. You will not go there and you're carrying. There are some places you won't go to malt with a carton of malt. You go with quality choice wine. And sometimes hot drink.
All that?
I had to go, but dear Honorable, you're still missing a point. If you take a look at the affirmative policies that were put in place by countries that work, if you ask a Nigerian now what is one, I can't even tell you this is an affirmative. This is one policy that is being put. Apart from reducing. No, hold on. Let me say this. If you reduce costs, how much is a form? I mean, you and I know what it costs. For my senatorial election, I spent nothing less than 500 million. What is that? No, for the election. So what is that compared? Let me tell you what Rwanda and some of these countries have done. Try to promote a rotationary gender alone ballot.
There's even a law. Let me get this. That is supposed to allocate some seats, some slots.
But how will you fill this slot? That's what we're getting to.
That's the point I'm saying. You're not listening. How many men, how many women are there in the house to support that bill to even see the light of the day? That thing was put to vote. It was put to decision.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it was read on the floor of the house, you could see the roar. We are giving you people a small opportunity now. This woman will come and overtake us. One day you tell me to vacate my own seat. That was an honorable member was quoted. I saw. You needed to see the agitation on that. So I think, for me, really, it's not about reading through what applied to you, Rwanda might not really apply to us. I think it's for us to fashion out our own local strategy at achieving this. And for me, despite what you say, it's not something of grammar or book or law. It's something of following it like our tradition permits. In my own case, what I used was the snail approach. My mother would say that no matter how thorny a path is, the snail will glide through it with her smooth tongue. I went into my campaign, and in fact, I'm now known to wear normal 2,000, 2,500, 1,500, 1,000 Ankara. I don't wear makeups. In my place, right, I felt that women needed me, and they had always been the backbone of my support. So I didn't need to look so flashy to come through them. I needed to wear something that I could come to your house and crawl on the floor, sit with you in the marketplace, and not look too higher or bigger than you. Because you see, our people are too judgmental.
Yes.
Oh, she's all this, she's already this, she's all this. So our society just needs you to, and the men need, not a little bit, a lot, so much of massage. You don't reply so much to men. You don't reply so much to their criticism. You don't follow what they say about you. Every woman in politics is tagged a prostitute.
Wow.
Every woman in politics that you are even married and you don't have a child is a campaign a strategy against you. That one that cannot even make a baby. That one cannot even keep her home. That one that is not even married. So that you are of a marriageable age and you are not married is a political minus. How is that your fault, for God's sakes?
Because even the Bible says he will find out a wife. It's not he will find out a husband, right?
Yes. So you need to go through all these men. I went to them on my knees. And even till today, I don't greet any of my leaders standing. I kneel down. My leader, no, don't shake me or tap me at the back. Sometimes, even when you know that we are equal, that is for my own society. And I believe the most part of Nigerians like it when a woman presents herself to be
a humble form.
In your mind, they want you to look that, yes, you are lower. Take it like that. So that way I was able to enter go in, this one, meet with all of them. All the say, she's very humble. Hey, she's very simple day because this thing, hey, I have been pushing and pushing. You people just put me. Till today, when I come and they say they are calling leadership meet, I say, you people know I'm not a leader. You have been able to carry me up. Please continue to keep me there. And for those who don't think I'm doing enough, understand that I've just
What
been
if
there.
when your people take you up, you win the election and the institutions take it away from you? There's the INEC, there's the police, there's the judiciary as well. I mean, all good that you got your victory, your election was cancelled. But I tell you, I personally know what went through during my senatorial election. And for my governorship, I was even disqualified and not allowed to campaign for 2 months while the APC and PDP candidates. Injustice was there right from time.
That's another issue. That's another issue.
Let's react to our audience a little bit.
For a woman to emerge as a leader, it's not about getting the votes. I was told that out of 100%, being popular, being loved, being admired is just 30%.
Doesn't guarantee. Yes.
It's just 30%.
Yes.
So whether you crawl on your knees, you as humble, you put on rags, you speak the finest language, that's 30%.
There's really a background. There's really a background.
But you have to win.
Independence of the institutions, that's another 30%. Are they fair enough? We all know that in my own time, I mean, good luck to you. The institutions, I'm talking about INEC itself, the police and all that, were outrightly against me and in supportive of the APC candidate.
But not because you're a woman.
I'm trying to say,
not because you're a woman. That applies to all.
But let me say this again. That is what I'm talking about, the affirmative action, madam.
But the affirmative action will not change.
In a place, no, it will.
It will. It will not change.
There are countries. No, hold on. If you're talking about bringing out a woman, whether it's myself, supposing 3 of us are from the same senatorial district, and there is an affirmative action in place that for every state that are allowed to bring 3 senators, 1 must be a woman. The 3 constituencies or districts will meet and rotate. For this election, you, APC, PDP, and all parties will field only women. So that means all 3 of us, whether I'm SDP, APC, PDP, we are going to contest among ourselves. The men in that place will know that they are stepping down this year. That's the affirmative action I'm talking about. Next year, it's going to go to the Eastern Senatorial District, while the men and women and others can still contest. You have to have it spelled out that until this happens, and it will also be, whether it's for the governorship, the same law will apply.
Well,
so until that happens, if you put me to compete with a man, I'm a feminist, but I don't push for equality. I push for equity. Because I believe everybody, as a woman, there are areas I'm stronger than a man, and there are areas a man is stronger than me. You ask the question then, that why is it that there's a trend for, in countries or areas where there are women leaders, the economy is more stable, the society is more peaceful and progressive. What is it? That's because the woman has a higher level of emotional and mental intelligence, and by nature we are born to be nurturers of society and home. So that's why it's easier for a woman, before she makes any decision, she thinks about the consequence, A, B, C. She builds scenarios in her head, and she's more cautious than a man who just acts as if it's a game. So that's why. So, and that, if you put me, no matter, even if you give me £1 billion to contest, and you put another man, she talked about the campaigning. You have to tour around all your wards. You have to move around. Whether in your period, whatever you are going through, you just have to. And it takes a lot of toll on you, because to be a leader, you don't need to. It's not the muscle of the mind. It's not the muscle of the heart that used to lead the people. It's the mind and the heart. Yes. So you don't have to tell me to climb a tree or climb a mountain or be on the road 20 hours out of 24 and not expect me to have a down toll as a woman.
Exactly.
But challenge me intellectually.
All right, so we're going to let Faith come in on her this. But there's somebody who wants to who reacted to something. I agree with my sister. She said what my sister said. Odina Kachuku, just look at her name and keep pushing. Eyes of the Lord is watching. Thanks, Solo Fred from, I didn't quite understand, but I think she's talking about you. Like your name resounds with okay.
My name means it's in the hand of God.
Okay, it's in the hand of God.
Yes.
Okay. So your victory came actually from God. All right. Okay. So let's
I was going to say that women's participation in politics, there's a background to all of that. When electioneering started in Nigeria, only men who earned about £100 were qualified to vote in Nigeria. So that narrative continued. No woman was qualified to vote until certain time. You now had in the southern region of Nigeria, women started voting. But it was in 1979 that women in the north actually voted for the first time. That's the history. So when you have excluded women from that process, the process of electioneering, voting, they were not part of it. It was just the men's thing to do. So now the mentality for the men is, oh, we are just allowing you, we're doing you a favor to be part of this process. And if somebody...
In Japan, did you read that policy that came up in Japan last month, that women will not, henceforth, it was a boardroom law all over Japan, that women won't be allowed to participate if they keep quiet, if they promise to be quiet in board meetings. That's in Japan recently.
The truth of the matter is, when you already know that you're only allowed to participate because there's an outcry that there should be inclusion, what you should do is come there and sit to be part of that process. It's still a learning process, a learning thing for women. It's not like women can come in today and you will have 100%. I tell you, even if we have that affirmative action working, if we have it working right now, some women will still push back on it. But it's important to have it because already we have a policy. The gender policy is 35% elective and appointive positions. And because we are so also not trying to challenge the status quo, nobody has ever gone to court. Nobody has ever gone to court to say that you have given appointments and you do not have up to 35% women appointed. Let's take it to the court and challenge it, and let's see what happens. You know, on International Women's Day, I was in a meeting with Senator Olujimi, that presented the Equal Opportunities Bill. And I tell you, some of the things that the honorable members are querying in that law are things that will get you outraged.
I'm telling you.
Are things that will get you outraged. And up till now, Nigerian women, we have not thought of what about women did. So that we can go and do that. Now, it took women, Nigerian women, to fight for laws, tax laws to be changed for their husbands, not really for themselves. It's not even until recently that we started talking about the tax laws in our civil service. If you are a woman and you are a man, we have a national population policy. The tax rebate to be given to the man because the man is assumed to be the father of the children. Meanwhile, the woman who gave birth to those 4 children will have to pay her taxes. So these are the things that we keep saying, and we're so quiet about that. And we're just talking about all of these leadership things. Even in the civil service, when it is the turn of a woman to become either a PS or a director, you see them fighting. Politics will start. We need to go back and learn the ropes. What is it that these men are doing that they keep them? You see somebody, a senator, have been there for like 20 years. Does it mean you don't have people in that constituency anymore? I know it happens. People say, oh, this is what is happening. It happens in the US too. Like, for instance, I don't think you can think of Nigeria where if somebody had been president and the wife comes to run for presidency, they will kill that family or even kill the woman. They will kill the woman. So we need to, let's go back. One, I believe in a lot of things that we do, we need to put it into our culture.
All right, so let's quickly react to our audience and take a little bit of messages before we continue. Somebody says,
we do like a retainership in continuation with the policies? Can we start by saying offices where you have women already occupying, let's start by giving them an automatic ticket to come back. Yeah. Because I keep going back to that ticket. If you are not, there are sometimes you run your elections. Some women came back, haven't run and won their elections. You win primaries, they cancel you until you keep. At least I can mention Gimba, honorable. So it's for us to start with that, and then you cannot build this policy without the critical stakeholders. I tell you, in this system, the governors play a lot of roles. Yes. You will agree with me.
It's true. Yeah. They're the heads of the political parties at their state level.
Heads of politics. So we need to start leading advocacies to meet with them and beg.
Beg. Madam, power is not given. It is taken. I was expecting you to say you're going to rally your members and the senators and block the National Assembly. Let other women support you. National Assembly will not open
after NSAS, we still came back to the table. There is no time. There is a crossfire that there is still not a negotiation on the table. After wars and protests and fights, you still come back to the table. I like results.
Dialogue.
Dialogue. So it's advocacy. Well, you lead advocacy. You see, developed countries will advocate for any project by leading strong voices.
Yes.
You do so much by speaking. Strong voices, advocacy really works. If you get these people to buy in and they sign on, you have results.
I think
there are state governors that have even started.
Because it's been in the House since 2010. The bill has been in the House since 2010. They always throw it out and bring it back. So this year makes it 11 years that we have the Equal Opportunities Bill at the House. We understand that the Violence Against Persons Bill Act is now an act. States need to put that. But we need to rally voices. I need to have Natasha, pushing women. The Honorable is in the House. The truth of the matter is this. They're very few. They need our support from outside. They need our support from outside.
Let me tell you something, madam. I'm giving you my words now on national television. If your women, the House of Reps, align together with the females we have in the Senate, and irrespective of the numbers you are at power, like we don't care that the men are toppled over you in numbers, you'll stand and say the National Assembly is not going to sit until we push this affirmative law. And you will watch what I myself will do, and other women I trust will stand. We're not going to fight. When you're trying to speak on the street to protest, doesn't mean you're going to come with stones and all. No. But there's a way we're going to get the right attention of the media.
But that
and then we're going to get it
on.
Advocacy. Like speaking. Madam, there are different kinds of advocacy. There are different ways you make things happen.
Let me tell you, Mama, Nigeria is operating on a tripod. Right? Separation of powers.
I speak so much.
Executive, legislature, and the judiciary. And there is no law that will make one, including citizens' right, to stop the performance of any of these farms. So even if 1 million people lead protests and come to National Assembly, it will not stop National Assembly from going through the procedures, which is a constitutional duty and right. So that's why I'm telling you.
In the same Nigeria, we have seen some bills being quickly passed within 3 weeks, like when we were trying to curtail the social media.
Normal ways to attaining your rights. You can get your rights achieved by lobbying, advocacies, the same thing. So, and one of those, like I said also, is you see these traditional rulers you have they might not come out to vote, but they play a lot of role in shaping and influencing and molding societal opinion on who goes. You see religious, you see churches, you see mosques, some Catholic church or what, a priest will not need to say vote for so person, but he knows how to coin his sermon to direct you to go this way. So we can start all those Christian CWOs, CMOs, all those to come strongly. And I tell you that the narratives are changing. And when you are winning, when you are doing well, you only need to identify areas where you have problems. Because there was a time when we had more women in the House.
Yes.
Why are they not coming back?
It keeps dwindling.
Why are they not coming back? That's what we are saying. If their policy is there to retain those seats for women, so that when they want to come back, it's a lot easier. At least until she comes twice. If she comes twice and she's underperforming, then we can know and replace her with another woman who promises to perform. That one woman didn't do well. It's not enough to say put women there now. They always say that one woman was in the council. What did she do? And I say, but a man was governor, a man was deputy, a man was speaker, a man had been that council chairman for 10 years. Why would you now say one woman will spoil the
challenge?
For me, I would challenge.
And what does it mean to choose to challenge a policy or a law, a bill you've been trying to pass for the past 10 years? If you are asked today to choose to challenge your men in the National Assembly, what would you do differently? Go back to the same
so
dialogue.
before she gets that question answered, let's quickly talk with our audience. Good morning, I'm Jafar from Adamawa State. It is forbidden in our culture and religion for women to govern the people. All right, that is your own Adamawa State people. Are you there? That's coming from your state. Good morning, my name is Ike Chukwugebra. I'm very happy to say that I am proud of my 4 lovely children, all of them are girls, and every child is important. I am happy for you too. Thank you very much. You don't know the blessing you have in your house. Good morning, I'm a lady, and I want to pursue her. I'm a lady that wants to pursue her dream, but this same gender equality, me being a girl child, has really been a stumbling block. But I keep on pressing. Please, ma, I need your help. I need a backbone to pursue my career. You didn't quite state what the career is here, but I hope that what we are doing today will encourage you, to move on with it. Honorable Odinaka, you have to prove to your people that, okay, you women can change the world. Carry on your people along. I stand for you, ma. You didn't write your name, but she's listening and she will ensure that she proves it. We hear of rights of education for a girl child. We see a lot of children hawking, girl child hawking and begging on the streets of Abuja, and nobody has done anything to arrest this. This is from Ngozi. Okay, so we should do more of implementation. Ngozi, you didn't write your surname or where you're writing from. The woman there, Natasha Poti, was victimized in her state during her campaign. We are from the same state, so we know she is saying the truth. Yusuf Nasiru. Okay, so let's read 1 or 2 more before we finally say bye-bye. My name is Promise Obodo. I really want to commend Honorable Odinaka Chief for her loyalty, humility. Other women should learn from her and grow in politics, okay? These must be people who have known you one-on-one. Good day, ladies. Very proud of you all. Question is, what will you do if your spouse is not supporting your political ambition?
Well, there's something you said that one of the writers said about their culture, not supporting
That's
women.
Jaffa from Adamawa State.
In my
Adamawa State
place,
people, is it true?
do you know that in my place, in Igbo land, kola, the kola nut, is very significant. We don't farm it, but we almost worship it. Women buy it, women sell it. But when it comes to gatherings, a woman does not see kola.
But I can carry it.
Yes, well, there was this obstacle that came when a strong woman was contesting. When I'm contesting, the first time I came, and it was like making ridicule of me, and like, who will carry the, you can't, and I'm like, well, even if it means having an SA on kola affairs, I would do it in a very jovial and fun. And it became, yes, and it was no longer a stigma. So to my friend who made that comment, don't let anything society brings weigh you down. Me, I play over everything. I make fun of everything, but I'm passing a strong message that I say I wash the kola, I buy it, I even present it to the man to give to public. But when they are doing the libation or the kola presentation and say, oh, brother, you have seen it, they will show it to everybody, but not me, even as a city rep member. So when you are bringing the kola, I will just turn my face. You are showing your people around. So it's not, those things don't mean a thing. The insinuations.
My director is really on my neck. He says we gotta go. And I know Natasha is warming up to say more. We'll pick you on a part 2 of this because there's a whole lot coming up. For now, we'll just say thank you. I know that women, we have the population according to census. And I'm still wondering, with the number we have, why are we not representing the same number in leadership, in politics? We know we're going to get there with time, and while we are pondering on that, let's stay on to NTA. My name is Elizabeth, and I want to say thank you to all of you.
Thanks.
Lovely conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Better days for women. We are here. We are here. We're taking over.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.